So much going on tonight. The other major issue is unemployment. 1.3 million Americans filed for unemployment benefits last week. That's a total of more than 50 million people in the last 17 weeks. All of this as the feud with the White House and the LAUSD continues. After the LAUSD canceled in-person classes for students on Monday, President Trump lashed out at the superintendent, calling for him to be fired. Today, the White House press secretary said this when asked what the president would say to parents who don't know what to do with their kids.
Yeah, the president has said unmistakably that he wants schools to open, and I was just in the Oval talking to him about that. And when he says open, he means open and full, kids being able to attend each and every day at their school. The science should not stand in the way of this. Everyone else in the Western world, our peer nations, are doing it. We are the outlier here.
Educators across the country have blasted the president and his administration for pushing schools to reopen without a plan to do it safely. Also in Washington today, some progress perhaps in extending unemployment benefits.
We have to have a bill.
Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi said today the House may skip its August recess in order to pass a new unemployment package for the millions of Americans across the country who have lost their jobs. At the end of July, the extra $600 in weekly federal unemployment benefits expires.
I hope we will have it sooner rather than later because people really need to have it. This isn't about government and philosophy or any political differences of opinion. This is about meeting the needs of the American people at the time of a pandemic that has lost about 40 million jobs.
There is bipartisan backing for a new round of aid, but as of now, there is no extension bill that has been agreed to by the House and Senate. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell did offer these optimistic words.
We know we can't shut the economy down again. That cannot happen. We've learned there are consequences from being cooped up at home.
Across the country, the death toll from the virus continues to rise as state and local officials try to contain hotspots. Texas recorded its highest death toll today since the pandemic started, 129 people. In the overwhelmed Rio Grande Valley, COVID patients at some hospitals are spilling into the hallways, and a conference room is a temporary morgue.
I know people hear these stories over and over, but it's very different when the person that you're putting in a body bag is your next door neighbor for 50 years, your mom's best friend.
Dr. Ivan Melendez says his job has become almost too much to bear.
You walk into warehouses of people where you have 40, 45 people that are on stretchers, on life support, on ventilators, prone, exposed.
The situation so dire, 4 Texas counties have ordered refrigerated trucks to help store bodies. Arizona has also brought in the extra trucks. Tonight, a top White House health official says closing down indoor bars and wearing masks will help shut down the virus, but so far there is no national policy addressing either of those issues.
It's very, very important to really close indoor bars. We know that 50, 60, 70% in some areas are traced to a single bar.
Florida also set a new fatality record today, 156 deaths.
You have to wear a mask.
And back here in California, the divisiveness over face coverings flared up in this grocery store, where a man without a mask was pepper sprayed after an argument with another customer. Senator Dianne Feinstein has even proposed amending the next coronavirus relief bill to block states from getting stimulus aid if they do not require face coverings. More than half of all states now have mask mandates, but in Georgia, where cases are surging, the governor filed a lawsuit tonight seeking to block Atlanta's mask mandate. But more retailers are requiring them. CVS, Target, and Publix today joined Walmart, Kroger, and Best Buy, among others. And tonight we also continue to hear from a flood of Californians who have not gotten their state unemployment benefits. State officials say the system is overwhelmed and they are working as quickly as they can, but for many, time is running out. Back to you, Sarah.
Tom, thank you so much.